Hi everybody, I'm Kim Bourgeois Landry. Welcome to the Wonky Quilter. Today we're going to have a little short video. Okay, that's enough applause. I know that I'm about 15 minutes too long on my 20-minute videos. I just don't know how to tie it up once I start talking. It's a problem in my life. Anyway, as many of you may know, I have been learning to English paper piece. I'm just barely beginning. However, the pieces that I'm working with are so little. I needed a little square template, so I was looking around. I can't find a little square 1-inch template that's pretty small. So I found a shop on Etsy, and I think they had them. But you know what? Once I started looking at the sets that they sold, I wanted a set. And I didn't want the big set the little set once I started thinking about it. I wanted the big set. And in fact, I wanted the honeycomb and the square set. I really wanted a couple more, but I stopped myself. I bought them. The shop is called, what is the shop called? Cabin in the Woods Quilters. Ooh, Cabin in the Woods Quilters. And this was a Etsy shop. I went ahead. They're in Fredericksburg, Virginia. My mom was from Virginia. I felt a little heart connection there. I just said, take a chance, do it. My box came in today. Really, very quickly. I mean, it was just a few days ago that I ordered them. I haven't looked at them, but I have already broken the seal because I'm in the sewing room and I don't use any sharp instruments, any cutting instruments, nothing in this room that's not on fabric or thread. So I did this in the kitchen with utility scissors, you know. So I opened it up, but here we go. Here's the invoice, which is paid for. Yep. Okay. They're big. Oh my gosh, they're so big. I'm gonna have a blast with these. Each one of the templates comes with 2 pieces. Now, many of you who are quite accomplished quilters, this may be like just a completely normal thing. I don't know if you remember me saying so. I made this out of my template, and I cut the hole in the middle. I covered this in Scotch tape just to make it strong, because my eyes really, I'm training them to see what kind of fussy cutting image I would get in here, and I really could not do it. So, having said that, needing a frame is what I'm saying I needed. Here's one set of the squares. I'm going to start with the biggest one. Oh my gosh, it's so big. Okay, so here is the biggest one. Look how cool that is. And the biggest one is a 3-inch square. And then, you know, and here's the frame. This is an exceptional tool. I mean, I guess you could just cut it this size, and this is your, you know, this gives you the sewing 1/4 of an inch. I don't know. I'm going to use this as a frame so that my eye can see if I'm getting the picture right, you know. So there are 4 of them. Oh my gosh, they're really fabulous. They're nice and heavy. Okay, I don't want to say heavy. They're not heavy. But they're not slight and bendable. This is a good quality thing that's going to last for a good long while, I guess is what I want to say. So this one is 2.5 inch square. And they're labeled. Beautiful, beautiful. Came in a nice bag. They're plastic bags, but I do believe it's a good heavy quality bag. I think this is what they will stay in. This is what I'll keep them in. It's a nice bag. So see, here's the label from the company. Cabin in the Woods. Thank you so much. This is the smallest one. And this is quite a bit bigger than the one that I'm working with. Let's see if I can find the one that I was working in. So this is a big template. 1 3/4 inch. And I'm working with 1 inch. So what a difference. Look, nice and heavy. These are, I like them. I like them. So I am very happy with my unboxing, and to give a shout out to Cabin in the Woods Quilting. I don't know why. I'm going to put that place in a book or something. That sounds really cool. And what a set. Look at this. This was about, I want to say that these were about $24. I have the invoice, but it doesn't have the price on it. I think they were about 24 bucks. Maybe with tax, it was about $24. But I'm really, really excited about it. So there you go. Also, I wanted to tell you, you know, the piece that I'm working on is a Lucy Boston pattern. And I've heard people talking about her, but I knew nothing about her. So I looked her up on Wikipedia, and there are lots of books written. You know, if you're interested in learning how to English paper piece, there are lots of videos on YouTube. There are lots of really highly qualified teachers around the world teaching it, and local people, like I had somebody local working with me, which I was very fortunate to have that happen. And she's also written a lot of books. This woman was like a firecracker. After the age of 60, all of this happened. She developed all of these patterns. The one I'm working on is Patchwork of the Crosses. And it's done with this, actually. But there are many, many, many of them with different names. Do you know that they called her on Wikipedia a needlewoman. Doesn't that sound powerful? A needlewoman. She also wrote a whole series of children's books, young adult books, poetry, and even, I think these might have been young adult books, but maybe they were just adult books that had a supernatural thing running through them. She was a gifted artist. She went to Vienna to study with masters, all after the age of 60. Her books were very well received. She won, I think it's the Newbery, the Carnegie Medal for best children's book by a British citizen or something like that. So listen, there's hope for all of us. This was all after the age of 60, so that was pretty amazing. I also wanted to tell you that while I'm going to start working, now that I have all of these squares too, this is that because I guess pick and I thrift and I love buying fabric that way, I have many occasions, I have found things like at estate sales and stuff where a quilter was cutting up fabric themselves. Do you know? I was on Just Wanna Quilt Facebook page today. Just Wanna Quilt, W-A-N-N-A. And it is run by Dr. Elizabeth Townsend Gard, who is a quilter herself, and she teaches law at Tulane University in New Orleans. She has a podcast, and I mentioned that first because I guess that's what I'm interested in, a Facebook page where I get all kind of quilting information. But she's running a copyright project on and using quilting, because really, you know, us designers in quilting are unprotected, and she's teaching people how to do it. Today, the video that she put out, when I say little, it was short. She was at home quilting with members of the quilting army, is what she calls them, people who listen to the podcast, and I think a couple of students that are working on the project. And she said that they're going to start a new project. They have all of these smaller projects that are under the umbrella of the copyright project called not utility, inventory quilts. So I'm going to join that project because it's about going through your own inventory and making a complete quilt without buying one thing. Inventory quilt. This is one of my favorites. It's got clocks on it. But look, y'all, when you find something like this, this isn't the only one you find. See, I wrapped this in some, I had a half a roll of Grow Gain ribbon. And look at this. These are all cut the same size. Look at all the creams. This is all without, these are all things that I have picked up here and there for like nothing. Or maybe hardly nothing. And taken out of bags that were at the bottom of bags, maybe, were junky fabric that's all messed up, and somebody says, you're gonna have the bag for $8 or $10 or, you know, whatever it is. And then there will be where the quilter had been saving up fabrics, you know, so I have them all organized, and I need to make an inventory quilt. All of this is without cutting, I'm gonna call them fat quarters, but they're not fat quarters. The pieces that I bought from like quilting stores and whatnot that are large enough to fold. You know, they might be this wide, no, tall, and about this long, but it's enough that I could fold them up, and I have them all done in colors and patterns. This is all, this needs to go. I need to be making something with it. So I am going to join that podcast, and I'll tell you another thing that Dr. Townsend Guard said today is that she felt like they were sewing in the house on a Monday, and it was a fun day, and she said, every Monday should be a sew day. And I just thought, well, no, that's a quote. So I'm going to leave you with that quote from Dr. Elizabeth Townsend Guard. Every Monday should be a sew day. So I hope that you get some sewing done today, and remember this when next Monday rolls around. Anyway, I hope that you will listen to some of her podcasts. They're really good. And I hope that you'll go to my Facebook page and subscribe, like, and share. And I also wanted to say, Sarah, is it Eberling? Sarah, I have way too many pair of readers. These are my favorites. I have a little pink pair, and I have a white pair. That's my favorite too. But as my eyesight changes, I just buy 3 or 4 new pair, not all at one time. But I try to make sure I have one almost in every room. That way, anytime I need to read something, I have them there. So, but thank you for noticing, and thanks for the sweet letter. I